right now we're going to briefly review solving equations. Remember, when you're solving equations, the ultimate goal is to have a variable on one side equaling a number on the other side. And really the key here is just to do opposites of things until you get it to look that way. So when I look at this first example, I see 2x plus 1 equals 11. Now remember, I want the x on one side and all the numbers on the other. So I'm going to start with this plus 1 and I have to move it to the other side. In order to move it to the other side, I'm going to minus a 1 from both sides. And I'm going to have 2x equals 10. Now this x is 2 times x, and I want x to be alone. So the opposite of multiplying would be to divide. So I need to divide both sides by 2 and get my answer of x equals 5 in the end. Let's take a look at 2 more examples. Now in this case I have x's on both sides and numbers on both sides. So we want to get all the x's together on the same side. Now the way that I like to do this is I like to look for the smaller number of x's. In this case it's 7 x's, and that's the one I move. So I'm going to subtract 7 x's from both sides. I'm going to be left with 1x minus 2 equals negative 9. Now I need to get that negative 2 to the other side. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and in the end, x equals negative 7. Taking a look at the next one down, a similar example. Again, I have numbers and letters on both sides, so I like to start by grouping my letters together. I see 5p and 8p. The smaller number would be 5p, so that's what we're going to subtract from both sides. We'll have negative 14 equals 3p plus 4. Now we need to move that plus 4 to the other side because I want those p's alone. So we'll minus 4 because that's the opposite. We'll get negative 18 equals 3p. And when I divide both sides by 3, negative 6 is my answer. A little bit harder of one. Right now I have a parentheses on the left side, so I'm going to have to start with that distributive property, and I'm going to have to multiply in the 6. When I do that, I'm going to get 6 plus 18k. So I'm going to take the negative 6k and add 6 to both sides. In the end, we're going to get negative 18 equals 6 plus 24k. Now we'll minus a 6, so we're going to get negative 24 equals 24k. And when I divide by 24, my k equals negative 1. A couple tips to watch for. The first thing would be if in the end you get something like 2x equals 0, you're at this step. In this case, a lot of people want to say no solution here, but really when you take both sides and divide by 2, in the end x just equals 0. Also, if you have something like this, negative 3x equals 9, make sure when you divide that you divide by a negative 3. You need to bring that negative with the x. We don't want the x to be negative in the end. We want the x to be positive. So in this case, the answer would be negative 3. Lastly, if you just have something like this, negative x equals negative 10, the idea here would just be to divide by a negative 1. So basically all that happens is both the signs get flipped. So just a couple tips along the way. Right now I want you to go ahead and come see Mrs. Alberg and ask her for a practice for solving equations, and then when you're done with that you can take your concept check.